We're going to talk about Frank, right?
Yeah, Frank.
Okay.
Well, hello. According to the machine, it says we are live worldwide. I'm Guns Magazine editor Brent Wheat here with American Handgunner editor Tom McHale, and we are live from the 2024 SHOT Show. And Tom, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. It feels like midnight, of course, to our bodies.
And the day's half over, so.
Yeah, the day's half over. Well, you should be getting this live from the SHOT Show. We are sitting here on our booth in Media Row, watching the herd stream by. It's like gazelles.
The exodus, yeah.
The exodus of the show. So we thought we would talk a little bit. I made it to the one meeting, and I was about 50 yards in the show, and that's been it. So I've been tied down here to our massive broadcast studio. In the hallway here. Yeah. So you've been hitting the floor with our digital editor.
I live a more balanced life. Ashley and I hit the floor for a couple hours.
That's our digital editor, Ashley, who's sitting over there and making faces at us.
So I got to see some stuff. I spent some time here in the booth interviewing some fascinating people.
You did?
I had a surprise interview with Alan Gottlieb.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Founder of the Second Amendment Foundation, who is kicking butt in the courtrooms protecting gun rights, everybody. So
it's funny, you may not see that in the media because they don't like to comment about that.
They are kicking butt.
They are.
And taking names, literally. So, yeah.
Does he have a list of names?
I think he does.
Well, good. Yeah. Well, maybe someday we'll get the NRA back on its feet.
Hey, you know what? Before I forget, we were talking about my balanced lifestyle and being able to hit the floor. One of the benefits of hitting the floor is I got this plate carrier name badge holder, cool. And I just want everybody to notice I have one and you do not. So
we've had this little discussion today. He's got more swag than I have. Mm-hmm. I've got very little swag. I've been tied down working while Tom is walking and gallivanting the show. If you're not familiar, the SHOT Show, the Shooting, Hunting, Outdoor Trade Show, we talk about it a lot because this is like the biggest deal in our entire year. Everybody from the industry gets together. We talk about guns and shooting stuff, and we do a lot of bro hugging and shaking hands and meeting new folks, and it's fun and it's a lot of work. And by the end of it, we're shot.
Yeah.
But this is where we get all of the new product information to bring to you throughout the year. So, Tom, tell me what you saw today.
We did some wandering. A couple of things popped out. I stopped by, talking about the gear. I did stop by and visit the folks at Condor. They make actually a huge variety.
Yeah,
of
they
gear.
make a lot of stuff.
Clothes, jackets, packs, carriers, plate carrier. Well, Condor.
Plate carrier.
I thought this was really clever. So
it is clever.
So I just showed that.
I bet
this
that
is a brilliant
cat.
marketing idea by Condor because here we are talking about it, right? But they put together an assortment. We're going to talk about that more tomorrow in our wrap-up because I haven't had time to look through it yet, but they work with a whole lot of interesting companies, and they have kind of assembled a show-and-tell bag. So we're going to see if we can pull out some things and talk about
Try
that
to
more.
make
so
me
that
jealous.
Was fun. But we had some good meetings today. So do you want me to talk about a couple
of
the
Talk about
finds?
them, yeah.
Okay, so Ashley and I stopped at the Walther booth. And I'm a big fan of metal handguns.
Right.
Polymer, great, no problem. I get it. It's light, it's easy to carry, but I'm willing to do the trade-off and carry the weight of aluminum or steel in handguns. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming out from Walther. Their Match PDP, the big one with the flared magwell and all that. They're making a steel version of that. Frank Jardim, one of my favorite writers, and I have a little disagreement on that. He thinks it's a waste of weight. I think it's awesome. We'll fight it out later this week. But
actually, I had to separate these two because we were trying to go live, and they had this back and forth, and I finally said, stop it. I want to go home. I want to tear down.
Well, Frank is going to be on video on Thursday afternoon, so we're going to talk about that and the merits of steel guns.
Do I sell tickets to that?
Straight. Yeah, you should. So that was neat. But they're also, outside of the match arena, they're doing a steel version of their regular PDP and their PDP compact, 5 and 4 inch barrels respectively.
Yeah.
And they're both 18-round guns, so kind of choose your configuration and size, but it's all metal. So I love that. I tell you, I tested some of the original PDPs, and they are phenomenal guns.
Cool.
Great trigger, super accurate off the bench. So look forward to seeing some of that in Handgunner. We found something else cool. we hit the Holosun booth today.
Yes.
They are innovating yet again. Guess what they have now?
Oh, it's hard telling.
Okay, we are talking night vision, not green night vision. Thermal night vision on
I heard about
handgun
this. This
setup.
is crazy.
So this was kind of the neatest thing. What they do to make it work, because thermal, as you know, it's not small.
Yeah.
I've never seen a thermal package in like a 1-inch cube, which is kind of what a handgun sight
Yeah.
has to be. So what they did was they put a flashlight on the bottom that's really a thermal receptor. You know,
Oh,
the big
wow.
silver dome in the front, like that kind of picks up all that stuff, and it has a light surrounding it. So you have a light, a weapon light, and that thing is the battery pack and the sensor for thermal, and it wirelessly beams its output to the sight.
No kidding.
Which is a combination thermal sight and holographic sight.
Yeah.
So it's got their kind of nifty circle and dot reticle too.
Yeah.
So that was super cool. So we're going to learn a lot more about that over the next day or so. But for a heads up,
Okay, and I
Pretty
usually
neat
do
stuff.
this to you
how
purely
much
as a
is it?
setup, but what is the price point?
$3.5 million.
I was going to say.
I have no earthly idea. I made up that number.
Okay.
I don't know if they know. It's like
Yeah.
really new. They're still working out some stuff, but it's coming.
Okay.
Thermal's not cheap, so
No,
this is
no.
not going to be a $300.
Exactly. You're not
handgun
going to see it
sight,
in a
but
blister pack at Walmart.
we have dinner with them on
Wednesday.
tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. So we are going to. Okay, for you guys, we're going to.
If you come back with one,
No, I'm probably not going to come back with one.
Yeah.
But what we are going to do is we're going to feed them a few drinks, and we're going to get the real scoop and
exactly.
kind of bring it back here. So,
Exactly.
so we'll do that.
Well, there goes Ryan and Tom Grisham.
Yeah. So they they got some new also in the Holosun booth. They have some new solar, not solar assist like the other ones, but solar rechargeable compact red dot sights. Neat stuff.
Cool.
So technology marches on. And I saw another. You know what? Ashley and I saw all the cool stuff today. You know what else we saw?
Well, she's flashing this sign, and then she was doing interpretive dancing, something about ballistic dummy lab.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm giving her the credit on this one because we were kind of walking down the hall, and she's like, "We need to turn around and go check out that thing I saw." And I was like, "We did." And what they make. Let me back up. The people that founded this company are Hollywood special effects folks.
Yes.
Right. So they made all the gory monsters and blown up people parts and all those gross things you see in movies and TV. Like they do a lot of work for NCIS and CSI and all that. Anyway, they make up to and including full human dummy people, complete with bones and gel around for the brains and head and all that stuff. And I asked them, I was like, what do you do with this? Obviously, it's interesting for ballistic testing, which a lot of folks use it for that. But they said they also use it kind of in general industry. So when they're doing, figuring out safety protocols and all that stuff, companies that make scissor lifts and develop safety procedures, wear your belt when you're up on a scissor lift, they'll actually take these things and shove them off a scissor lift. And it's like, this is what happens to you.
Wow.
If you don't wear your belt and
Will
fall
they
off,
send us?
so-
Because I can think of some fun stuff. I've seen some YouTubers that have done some things.
Yeah.
Surely we
That's
can.
part of their market too. They actually are working with a lot of folks, in
You
our
would think
space and,
our twisted minds, we could come up with something that would be horrifying,
yeah.
and
So-
maybe even gun related.
So ballisticdummylab.com. You can,
Very cool.
You can see more about that there. That was pretty
I,
neat stuff.
I hate to interrupt you, but a guy just walked by with a skateboard in his backpack. Now that's not really this. I don't know what's going on.
You know
there.
what? Seems weird, but I get it. There are 14 plus miles of booths here. So
Well, that could be. I don't
we
know.
cover some ground. I don't know.
Well, from that aside, okay. What else? What
else do we see? Some new guns.
let me take that a different direction, and you'll be circumspect. I know. I wouldn't necessarily ask this from an average guest on our programs, but you saw something that both you and Ashley said, "Oh, okay." Do you remember what that was?
No.
Because we were commenting, of all the blanks in the world, this is one of them. You were not sure if it was going to. Let me say, this was one where you said, didn't the owner have somebody around that said that's not a good idea to sink your life savings into?
Yeah, it's a gun, and as you like to say, and I'm giving you the credit here, it's a gun, and and it's one of many guns
that you've seen.
that I've seen. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't.
Okay.
I can't bring it up.
Well,
It pains me a little bit. So there's not always great ideas here.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's ideas that you just got to go, why?
well, there's 2 floors, and I don't know if it's intentional or not. The upper floor, it tends to be the established companies that you would
Yeah.
know their names, you know their products, and then downstairs is a lot of that too. But there's also some of the crazy stuff, and I've talked about it before. We found the laser-sighted slingshot that was down there several years ago, and the gentleman, English wasn't
awesome.
his first
Yeah.
language, and he just kept saying, "Rock go where laser go." Rock go. Well, okay. Well, how did you develop
I'm
that?
all
And-
in on that one.
yeah. No. It was before my time here. I use that as the best example of the worst product I've ever seen, and it stuck around for years, and it may still be out
I
there.
would want that.
But it was an elaborate system
would
of
be fun.
harnesses and trusses, and it looked like a regular laser pointer, like they bought for 50 cents off of Amazon, and supposedly somehow ballistics didn't matter.
Yeah.
It just miracle. The rock or the ball bearing would just hit right where the laser was pointed, and
Yeah,
it
close
was
enough range.
It was something.
So
But I know this was, both of you were saying that when they were demonstrating it very earnestly and very excitedly, you're like, "Oh my Lord, that's not going to be good, not
Yeah.
good at all."
yeah.
So,
But we did see some other good stuff.
Okay,
I'll
give you that lead
You
in.
mentioned the second floor, Smith & Wesson. There's
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff happening there. It's not all public yet, but one of them that is, and I think this is a good thing, is they're kind of revamping their SR9.
yeah,
SR9. And what they're doing is it's a Smith & Wesson handgun at a phenomenal price point. I think the MSRP is like low
Wow.
threes. The map is like $299.
no kidding.
So, if you need something for self-defense, you need something reputable that works. There's a lot of guns, of which this is one of them, but this is a Smith & Wesson. So,
Very cool.
I love to see that. I love to see people figuring out how to get a useful tool into people's hands for a very affordable price point. So,
Very cool.
and there may be more coming in that line too. Stay tuned.
Well, there's the mass exodus leaving the show floor, and now it starts out with the attendees, and now we're starting to get the exhibitors coming out. You can tell by the color of their badge. A guy walked by, you could just see, he was like, "Those poor saps are still working. At least we get to go home now."
they all have open liquor bottles, right?
Exactly. And so far, I've not hit any happy hours or anything like that. Was the main reason I'm trying to get you going on. Let's get this thing going, because
Yeah, okay.
there are
Well, let's
there
go.
are social engagements.
We'll wrap it
this
up
evening.
and
But
do more
well,
tomorrow.
I don't want to shut you down. Is there any more?
those
cool
are the
stuff you
biggies.
saw?
I was here a lot of today, so I didn't have
Yeah.
enough. I have a lot more wandering time tomorrow.
Yeah,
so.
and I will be on the show floor. You guys did some live stuff, didn't you, from the floor?
Yeah, we did. We did a couple of little videos so people can see some of the stuff. Like we got the Hollow Sun, with the thermal
Yeah,
sight on video.
Very
and
cool.
also the ballistic lab, the ballistic dummies. So
well,
you can see what those look like. Those are fun.
yeah. Well, all week we're going to be here. We've got this thing covered top to bottom, side to side, upside down, and every other which way you could imagine. Make sure you watch us on YouTube. We're live right now. We're going to be doing live. We're going to be doing some pre-recorded stuff. We've got all of our social media, our Facebook page. What else am I forgetting there, Tom?
I think that's
Okay.
that's it. Keep an eye on the videos. You have an opportunity to
Yeah.
hear from some of our writers, the people you read every month.
Yep.
Get to put names and faces together.
Yeah, you're
So
talking to
we're
Frank
having-
Jardim.
I am. That's going to be
arguing with Frank
entertaining.
Jardim.
Is we're going to have to set him straight.
So if there's
About steel
anything,
guns.
if there's anything you want to see or anything you want us to do that's legal in Vegas, leave it down there in the comments. We do read them. We make Ashley go through them, but and she calls out the best ones and the worst ones. But leave us a comment, leave us a question, and of course you can reach both of us, editor at gunsmagazine.com or editor at americanhandgunner.com. But yeah, stick with us this week. We're going to try and do a wrap-up show pretty much every day, and I think that's about it, Tom. I'm
Yep.
mentally destroyed. I'm physically not bad. I've been kind of tied here today.
On to second shift.
Yeah. So I'll hit the floor tomorrow, and then we've got lots of great interviews coming up, some really cool ones, some big names. Did you have any VIP sightings other than gun? I mean, like big Hollywood star kind of sightings. I haven't seen anybody.
No, but I wasn't around enough today. I know there are a lot of political folks are showing up this week.
A lot of political folks.
I know you've got some of your state government folks. I know Governor Nome from South Dakota is going to be kicking around.
She was asking about you.
Yeah.
Where's Tom?
And
we'll Tom McHale.
See who else shows up. So it's election year, so we're going to see some folks here, I'm sure.
Well, the Don has made an appearance in the past.
Yeah.
So that is interesting. Of course, for security reasons, typically it'll be the Don is here, and everything gets locked down. So if that happens, though, we'll report it. Okay. Well, we're sending in signs from the bench. So our teleprompter guy and cue card man, they've already gone home or they're drunk out on the street. So it's just the three of us here at the booth right at the moment. So you're dying to say something.
No, wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Stick a fork in it. Let's go.
We've got to work on the site. Remember, the signals and and now I'm going to bunt. So anyway, we're getting a little slap happy on day one of the 2024 SHOT Show. So I think that wraps it up. Like I said, we'll be starting tomorrow. Remember, we're on Pacific time. I think it is. And 3 hours difference from Eastern time. So that's why we are a little bit later than normal. But we'll be bringing you all kinds of good stuff. Like I said, covered top to bottom, side to side. And we're going to have Tom do a restroom walkthrough later. So anything further before we shut this crazy thing down?
I think we're good to go.
Okay, we're good to go. So once again, for the last time from the 2024 SHOT Show, day one, I'm Guns Magazine editor Brent Weed. This is American Handgunner editor Tom McHale, and we will see you tomorrow.